Hey guys, I'm going to be cutting open the stock Airdog filters, the water separator and the 2 micron secondary filter. So this is your water separator. If you don't know, it's got the drain. I'm in California and I've drained this thing multiple times, never got any amount of water out of it at all that I can tell. So I don't know if I'm just getting clean fuel or what. I'd assume it's clean fuel. So it seems to be doing a good job. Had my injectors tested, never had any issues since I started using this system with the Airdog. I think it's the way to go. It's a lot cleaner system of it, well, cleaner install than a FAST in my opinion. And filtration seems to be right where it needs to be. These filters have about 12 to 15,000 miles. I forgot to write them down. Never really seen a pressure drop even at like around 15,000 miles. So I'm thinking they do their job of filtering. I've never really heard any horror stories of people having issues with Airdog filters. And this right here, I'm not sure if Airdog makes their own filters or not. Online it looks like they do. In Indiana they may have their own plant. I've heard rumors that this is a Baldwin filter because somebody was saying that Baldwin has a patent for this metal drain petcock right here, and so any filter, no matter the brand or color, that has this style of a drain is made by Baldwin. So I don't know if Baldwin makes these for Airdog or not, and I've heard also this is possibly a Fleet Guard. 2 micron. Fleet Guard has a filter they say is not a 2 micron absolute. So Airdog, this one might be a better filter than the Fleet Guard as far as micron rating. I'm not sure on that. Anyways, I'm just gonna cut these open. They've been sitting outside draining, so they're nice and dry. Been sitting for weeks. This one's got a little rust. That's not from when it was removed. It was only from sitting outside. So what I do is I just take this little gasket out, and then it slides better in the cutter. So I'm gonna do that. Yeah, once you take that gasket off, then you just want to set it in here and tighten it down so you get a decent amount of tension to where you can still turn it, and then turn the filter till you can feel it. Once it's cut a little bit, it gets loose, and you got to tighten it up a little more, about half a turn, and then keep turning it. That's maybe a little too much. Maybe do a quarter turn or so, but it'll still cut it. Once it gets loose, and you just tighten it up a little more, and then eventually you'll cut through. It's pretty quick if you do it right. Okay, so this is a filter. The inside, nice. It's actually a lot thicker can than I expected. It didn't realize that. Here's the spring to hold the filter to the top with the rubber seal. That's the material. It's dirty for sure, but I wasn't really seeing a pressure drop that much. And that rust is only from sitting outside. I got a little bit of dirt out of these in the bucket when I took them off, but as you can see, it's dirty, but it don't have a lot of life probably left in it, but got my use out of it, and it did its job. So now I'm gonna just cut open the other one, and I'll rip these apart in a little bit once I get this one apart. So I'm just going to take the O-ring out. This one looks like it has a lot less rust. And tighten it down. Start cutting. Give it about a quarter turn of tension and turn it again. Keep going. These are a lot tougher than I realized. Definitely thicker than your average oil filter you get. So that's the inside. It's pretty clean. That actually means no complaints. Big spring in the bottom. Hold it up off the bottom so your water in the bottom, you know, it keeps the filter out of the water. So the water can collect in the bottom where the spring is. Never had any water problem really. This is the media. It's dirty. It's got some clean spots. I'm not sure. I guess that's just how the fuel flows around in it. I always replace these every time I do the secondary. Some people say you can make them go a little longer, but I don't feel it's worth it. You might as well just replace both of them. Now I'm just going to kind of, yeah, you can see here, not much to see really. It's a real tough material. Even this one, very tough. I'm going to try to get a pliers and rip it open. Okay, I just ripped these open. I spent a little bit of time at it. I was going to try to rip it all out, but man, they are glued in there, and that media just does not want to come out of there. It's in there. It's pretty tough stuff. I mean, it looks like it's some kind of a paper. You know, if this filter is made by Fleetguard, it's probably the Stratapore. Well, I'm not sure if this Stratapore is only an oil filter or not, but I think it's also used for fuel filters. But if it should be pretty good media. I'm not sure if this is an Airdog media or Fleetguard, but this is what came out of the secondary filter. Just dirt. And this one here is the water filter. Yeah, there's a few pieces of metal. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but could be. We'll see. You know, truck ran fine. Injectors are tested out great. Just had them checked. Yeah, this filter's not going to fall apart on you. It's in there good. And same with this one. So that's the center. It's got that style, and this is the water. So yeah, I went about 15,000 on these. I wouldn't, ideally probably go 10. If you want to push it a little bit, maybe, you know, 15. I like to do oil changes at 5,000, and then every other oil change, maybe, you know, 5,000 oil changes, probably like 10,000 miles for these. But you know, it's kind of all relative to your fuel quality and what you're doing with your truck and where you live, how much water you're getting. But for me, this stuff's worked out great, and I'm in the future gonna probably try out the Fleetguard or do a video cutting them open and comparing, and also the Baldwin, to see if this is the same as the Baldwin and if this is the same as the Fleetguard, or if there's any truth to that rumor, or just by the looks, if it looks exactly the same. I mean, you're not even going to save that much money, but if you get a deal, maybe, you know. So pretty reasonable, honestly. 50 bucks, you can get two of the you can get the water filter and the secondary. So